What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. I am really excited about this video today because we are going to be covering the exact process that I took to take my web design business from an inconsistent $1,000 to $2,000 a month and allow me to push up past that $5,000 a month threshold. So if you're making less than $5,000 a month and you're working website to website and you're feeling frustrated and overwhelmed, or if you're in a position where you just want to start making more consistent money as a web designer, this video is going to walk you through the entire process that I'm using right now in my business to allow me to take on more clients, make more money per client, and be able to manage my business in a way that allows me to continue to scale bigger and bigger. Now, this is the first video in a series where I'm going to be covering everything that I've had to do to reach these benchmarks of $5,000 a month and $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 plus per month in my web design business. I'm going to be kind of pulling back the curtain and showing you everything that I did and the biggest things that kind of made the difference for me in getting me up to that next level and being able to manage things and keep my clients happy and keep delivering value, all while making more money and bringing on more work and kind of growing and scaling my business. Now, it took me over 10 months to reach the point where I was making $5,000 a month consistently. And this is the kicker, is you always see people on YouTube and other gurus talking about selling websites for $15,000. But the fact of the matter is, when I started, I was having a hard time finding clients that would pay me more than $1,000, and it was frustrating. And I felt myself getting bogged down with even just 1 to 2 clients. I was feeling overwhelmed, and I wasn't getting paid enough, and I was having a hard time finding new clients, and I was stressed at where my new clients were coming from. And I felt like my entire process just had no direction or purpose, and it was making it really, really difficult to scale in a predictable way. So if you've had any of these issues, you're not alone. It was a rough couple of months for me, but I was able to find the thing that kind of pushed me beyond that $5,000 a month. Now, the trick was tearing apart my entire business and then setting up a business model that allowed me to follow the same process for every single client that I brought on. I realized that I was wasting all my time and energy stressing about writing great proposals and signing clients and getting agreements to them and creating content and designing a logo and then going through a million revision processes and then literally catering to every need that my client had. And by the time I finished with 1 or 2 clients, I was far too exhausted and I had lost all ambition to want to continue to scale and find new clients and grow. And I was kind of just hitting my head against the wall without the ability to kind of step back from my business and then look for other ways to make more money. Without a system and expectations that go along with this system, I guarantee that you're just going to continue to feel bogged down, and it's going to be really, really difficult to feel that ambition to want to scale. So if you're dealing with any of these issues, right now I'm going to give you the building blocks of a successful web design business, and I'm going to show you how you can kind of tear apart your business and then restructure it so moving forward, it doesn't matter if you've got 1 client or 10 or 20 clients, you're going to be able to follow this process and successfully take your clients from the moment that you send them a proposal to when you deliver a project and you get paid. And I'm going to show you everything that you need to do to get that set up. The first thing that you're going to need to make sure that you do is create set packages and set prices and then stick to those no matter what. Having set packages and pricing makes the entire process much easier when you're pitching your clients because you know exactly where you need to pitch them at. And it's going to eliminate that entire process of you giving them kind of a random bid and then them haggling the price down and then you taking a project that's not worth your time. And so by laying things out clearly, you're going to be able to kind of set that baseline and know if somebody wants a project done for any less than, say, $1,200, I'm not going to take that project. And by doing this, you're going to be able to stick to your guns, stick to your prices, and then you're not going to end up like me where my first 4 or 5 clients were all paying me less than what I needed to kind of put the time and effort into managing those and doing a good job. And then next thing I knew, I was just a total slave to my clients and I wasn't getting paid what I was providing for them. And so we want to make sure that you can stick to these prices and packages. And by doing this, it's going to make it much more clear for both you and your client. Plus, by doing this, it's going to make the proposal and agreement process way easier on everybody. And that leads us to number 2. You need to have templated proposals and agreements. Now, I feel very strongly that you should not waste time drafting a new proposal and a new agreement every time you sign a client because this can be incredibly time consuming. And also it leaves room for you to make mistakes because you can't spend 2 hours every day reading through a new proposal and typing things out and spell checking just to send a proposal to somebody that may not even read it. And so by creating templates for these things that are easy to edit, where you can plug in obviously your package and your price and your timeline, and you can make small edits like that, but then you're going to be able to confidently send those things out quickly. So if you are using templated proposals and agreements already, let me know down in the comments, and if you're not, I would love to hear why not, and if it's actually working for you. I would be really curious to find out. So number 3 is you have to have a timeline, and you've got to stick to it. At the start of my freelancing business, I had way too many client projects that were meant to go just a month or a month and a half, and ended up stretching out past like 7, 8, 9 months, and it was absolutely miserable because it ended up being way more work for me. All my projects started to stack up on one another. Plus, I wasn't getting paid, and so it was just really frustrating to kind of sit back and allow my clients to just yank me around and determine when they felt ready to launch their website. This happened because I didn't set expectations on a timeline, and because of this, my clients had no direction. And it's important to remember that you can't rely on your clients to kind of lead this project, because they're not going to know how to do it, right? And so you need to kind of take the reins, be the professional, and tell them exactly what needs to happen at what time, and what happens if they don't fulfill their end of the bargain. This timeline should include a launch date for the website. It should include a deadline for the content that they're going to get you, and it should also include somewhat of a warning or a notice that if they don't get the content to you in time, you're just going to need to launch the website with placeholder content. By doing this, it's going to motivate your clients to get the things to you that you need fast, but also it's going to allow you to predict exactly when you're going to get the content, when you're going to be able to launch the website, and when you're going to get paid. This is going to create much more consistency in your business. Not only that, but you're just going to be able to stay on top of your projects quicker. And obviously, if you can take a project and bust it out in less than a month, it's going to open up your pipeline and allow you to bring on more clients and more projects and get those done sooner. And that leads us to number 4, which is getting your clients to create the content and then deliver it to you on a deadline. This is one of the things that killed me the most at the start, because I didn't set good expectations. And so sometimes I would have clients that would say, either take the content from our old website, or you just kind of create the content, whatever you feel needs to be in there. And I'm not a copywriter, and I had no idea how to do this. So first off, their content ended up being complete garbage. And not only that, but it just added way too much stress and anxiety to the project, because it was putting me outside my wheelhouse. And so you want to make sure that you don't take on any parts of the project that aren't within your wheelhouse, because this is going to take this system and this process that you've got down for every project, and it's going to start stretching you thin. When some projects you've got to create content, and some projects you've got to design a logo, and some projects you've got to meet with the client twice a week to discuss strategy, and all of these things that kind of stretch you outside of your realm of what you do well is going to make it much, much more difficult. And so when it comes to content, make sure that you let your client know that this is their responsibility, that they need to have this to you within 2 to 3 weeks. Give them a deadline, and then let them know that this is something that they can change later on once the website's live, and so not to feel any pressure. But also let them know that this is something that if they don't get to you in time, you're just going to have to launch the site with placeholder content that they can change later on. I promise you that this might seem like your clients will be upset about this, but in the long run, they're going to thank you for giving them a deadline and allowing them to know exactly what you expect of them, and then getting their website live as soon as possible. Because at the end of the day, that's the way that they're going to grow their business, is having a website live that their customers and clients can find to be able to contact them and hire them for their services. And the longer that you delay that process, it's just hurting their business. Now, the 5th part to this process is having a revision process and then sticking to that and being very firm with it. Now, obviously, we want to make sure that our clients are very satisfied with the final product, because they're spending their hard-earned money on our services, and so we want to make sure they're satisfied. But at the same time, if you show any doubt in your abilities as a web designer, it's going to make them feel like they have to step in and make a lot of the decisions on the website. And when they step in and don't trust your opinion, this is when they start nitpicking every single paragraph and section and page. And before you know it, you're going to have gone through 15 revisions, and they're still not going to be satisfied, because they don't really know what they need. They know they want something that looks good. They know they want something that's going to drive traffic. But if you allow them to make all the decisions, they're just going to be frustrated, and it's going to drag the process out way longer than you're going to be able to spend on it without losing time and money. Now, I found in my business when I started showing confidence in what I was doing, my revision process went from 8 different phone calls down to literally 1 phone call where I would push the project forward and I would find the design that I felt like they would be most satisfied with. And I also was able to show them the reason that I set the site up the way that I did and why it's going to work to grow their business. And then typically speaking, my clients will dive in and maybe give me a couple bullet points of 5 or 6 things that they want changed, or maybe errors in the content that they pass me. And then we're ready to launch the site. And I'm able to do that because they feel confident knowing that whatever I've built is going to work better than anything that they could suggest, because I know that I'm the expert. Now, by adding this 5-step process, I promise you that the entire process of running your web design business is going to be way less stressful. And the hope is that if you can establish your business processes and kind of systematize your web design business, it's going to make it easier to take on multiple clients at a time, and you're not going to get bogged down by the nitpicky parts of running a business. So in my next video, I'm going to be sharing with you what I did to reach my next benchmark of $7,000 a month. And in that video, I'm going to be sharing with you everything that you need to do to now take this systematized business and all of your processes and amplify those to start finding more clients and raising your prices and doing everything that you need to start building and scaling an awesome web design business. So if you're interested in my next video, make sure to click below and subscribe, and then turn on the bell notification so you get notified when that next video launches. And if you found any value in this video, make sure you give it a like down below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.